This web of straps is a must-have for any sports, wedding, outdoor. If you're a photographer, you need it. This is a BlackRapid. It comes in many sizes, many different types of configurations. This here is called a double, I believe is what it's called, and not too hard to figure out. It's for 2 cameras. They make them with 1 camera, multiple cameras. I chose 2. Really quite simple how it goes on. There's Velcro on the back. I always just leave that attached. There's really no reason for me to detach it unless I want to, for some reason, just use 1 camera, which happens sometimes. So I'll just unvelcro and boom. You can use either one. I normally use this one just because it doesn't have the extra Velcro piece on it. But 99% of the time, you'll be using it together just like this. And it just goes right over your shoulders, just like that. Clip it in. And again, it's all size adjustable to whatever size you are. And then you have 2 straps, one on either side, to attach right into the bottom of your camera mount. If you're using, anytime you're using a lens that has a mount on it, on the lens itself, you want to use that. Because you don't want it to be dangling off of your camera and the mount there. That's just not good. So you strap it in just like this. So now you have this one dangling off there, and it's awesome because rather than a normal strap where it's kind of cutting into you, this one kind of goes across your whole chest, your shoulder, your back. It's absolutely awesome. On this one, normally I have my D7100 on this side. It's filming right now, so I substituted it for my 300S. On my 14-24, there's no mount on the actual lens, so you obviously want to go right into the camera. So now this one is nice and tight. That's how it goes. Right? And they just hang there. If you want to use this one, boom, boom, boom. Literally, you can just drop it and on to the next. Boom, boom, boom. I know some people had an issue with, as you're walking, it's kind of beating and banging into your body, but I've never had really an issue with that. My sides aren't bruised up or anything. I've never, more importantly, never had an issue with damage to the camera or the lens. It works really, really extremely well. There is one issue I have had with it, where if you don't check it every once in a while, as you're walking, this one thing will slowly unscrew, slowly, and then you take a step, and it comes crashing down. Not good at all. When you have literally thousands of dollars hanging off of it, you don't want it to crash. So soon I'm going to work on something, a little contraption where it's attached to this, and then it goes through like the old camera strap up here, just for extra safety reasons. So if it were to fall, when it falls, it hangs on there, and it doesn't go crashing to the ground. I've had that happen to me 3 times with mixed results. One time, it was this lens is perfectly fine. I had my camera attached to it, and the camera, the actual backing, came detached. I wound up unscrewing it, screwing it back together, and it was perfectly fine. Another time, I happened on with my D610 with this lens here, my 14-24, as you can see, and it literally hit the ground, boom. I was walking through a convention center that I was shooting at, and it literally landed just like that. And the built-in lens hood, the very top of it was chipped. Not too big of a deal. What I did is I still had the pieces for it, so I attached the pieces, and I used my gaffer tape. If you don't know about gaffer tape, pick some up. And I used some gaffer tape to kind of stick it back together. Never had an issue with it. It still focuses perfectly fine. Everything else is fine with it. Just a little chip out of the top. My last time that I had to happen, most recently, was my 7200 on top of my D610, just like this. And I was walking through a fire station, actually, and I just stepped in from like the garage, I guess you would call it, onto where it was carpeted, and it falls off. It hits just like that. The flash popped open and closed it up. It seemed perfectly fine. Everything was shooting fine. Everything was still sharp. There's no issue with the housing or anything. Got home a few days later, and I tried popping in a pocket wizard, and I realized that the hot shoe had bent in from the impact. I'm assuming from that impact, and it had bent in. I was lucky that I was able to kind of pry it back open so that everything works. The hot shoe still works fine. Everything still works fine on it. Just never an ideal situation when thousands of dollars of equipment is hitting the ground. Other than those issues there, it's absolutely great. And honestly, it was probably my fault. I highly recommend, if you have one of these, to check it every 20 or 30 minutes just to make sure everything's nice and tight. Better safe than sorry, I've learned that. Another great feature these BlackRapids have are these little clips that are attached to the straps here that are basically stopping points that you can use for your camera. I normally have the front one all the way here at the top. That way when you're using it and you go to lift it up, it can slide all the way up. Back clip I normally have closer here to the bottom to where when you're walking, it won't go back any farther than where the stopping point is. It also helps keep, once you finally find the correct position of it, it helps keep the straps right on top of your shoulders so it's not moving all around. You can pick these up at really any camera store. I got mine at Roberts here in Indianapolis, but I'm sure B&H has them, Adorama. Your local camera stores have them. They're a little on the expensive side. I think this one is like $135. You can get them much cheaper depending on the configuration that you get, but they're great. If you can afford it, buy one. If you have any questions, you can comment below or you can message me. Be sure to subscribe. I'll be putting out a lot more videos down the road. Thanks for watching.